Previously in X-Men. The team uses their downtime between missions to push their creativity on stage, their muscles while training, their emotions while uncovering secrets, and their bodies into other X-Men bodies. New York is showing signs of demonic possession, and Sinister, that's Mr. Sinister, broods. There are actually pages of him just brooding. I am Jason Lapidus.
I'm Chris Sanigan.
And we are Group of 7 Comics. Welcome to episode 179 of our ongoing read-through of the X-Men comics that became classic as we read Uncanny X-Men 240 by Chris Claremont, Marc Silvestri, Dan Green, cover date of January 1989. Chris, how are you?
I'm good. All right, here we go. 1989, huh? Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Now, of course, there is a delay on comics. Like, they give this date in advance. So it didn't actually come out in 89, just that's the cover date. And I find, instead of me having to look up the actual publication week every single time, I just go with the cover date. And we all know it's a little bit ahead of schedule. So it's not quite 1989 when this actually comes out, but it still says it on the cover.
We're almost in the 90s.
Yeah, well, that's what this has all kind of been building toward, right? We see the rise of these image artists. We see all sorts of trends moving from, let's just say, the Burn X-Men right through, and the impact of comics targeting older readers like Watchmen and Dark Knight Returns. We see that stuff trickle down into and all those maybe even just home movies, like VCR culture. And all those video rentals, and how many times people have access to like B movies and all those action movies in the 80s. I think that also might play a role in like helping shape what the tastes are of the day. Whereas decades previous, it'd be just like what's in syndication on television, Saturday afternoon movies, those kinds of things, and like late night monster movies. Things really shift in the 80s where you have access to like home video classics like Aliens and Predator and all those kinds of things where guys my age are watching movies that have amazing production value and they're action packed. They're not just like cheesy old Hercules movies where he's clearly lifting a styrofoam rock of some paper mache. It's like things are things are more intense. And I think it affects how people, what audiences want in their comics and what the creators are bringing to the game too. Because these guys have now seen things at a really high production level as visual reference. It wasn't all just Ed Wood science fiction. I mean, they got to see Industrial Light and Magic. Like, think about Star Wars has been out for 12 years at this point, right? So these guys have absorbed so much more production as visual reference points to move forward. Anyway, just a thought out there.
Did you ever make your own movies?
Did I ever make my own movies?
Yeah.
Yes and no. There was nothing that I could watch a complete thing from start to finish, but many an afternoon were spent with friends putting together a production that never actually came to fruition of, any substantial volume. What about you?
Yeah. We there's two movies, or there's two versions. We did a Batman, like a Batman 66 type thing. And then we also did a Star Wars. There's three now that I remember. There's a third one too, like a murder, like the Usual Suspects, like 90s, right? This is like, type thing. I have a video of, I still need to show it to you. I have a video cassette. Like, okay, you know how I used to do the camcorders, and then you take a little tape and you put it in a bigger tape?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I have a little tape. And I think it's still on there, and it's a Batman. I don't know, we were 15, Anyway.
Right.
Yeah, no, but like, the way you're talking about it, one of the things I remember recently watching in the last couple of years that I thought was really funny in terms of the behind the scenes, the process, the inspiration, the love of all these things, where they come from, is so Werewolf by Night, right, on Disney Plus, right? So when the first, I mean, I watched both black and white color, whatever. But when the black and white came out, immediately afterwards they had like they used to do these making ofs, right, which they don't do anymore. They used to make. I don't know if it was an assembled, but anyway, it was making of. And I don't know where the director came from. I can't recall. But he talked about
Yes.
how he's been making movies with his friends since he was like 12.
Yes.
And the clips they have of them making the movie, the movies of like they like karate kick a guy and then like a body would fly off of a building. You know what I mean? They'd record the dummy going down to the ground. Like they did all their own special effects, and it just seemed like such love. And then just these guys are having a total blast. Anyway,
so that director, and forgive me if I pronounce it wrong, is Michael Giacchino.
Okay.
Giacchino. I'm never good with my Italian C's with the CH after. Someone in the chat will help me out with this. So he is the composer of many a famous score, including the new Fantastic Four soundtrack, which is
really
fantastic. It's really good.
Yeah, I enjoyed
it. So he's been making movies since he was a kid.
But musically,
yes, no, he's been making movies in all aspects. I mean, he was doing special effects. He was doing acting,
like with fireworks and things, and like
right. But his professional career went toward music.
Okay.
And he is a director. Clearly, he directed Werewolf by Night, which by all reports that have come my way, audiences really enjoyed.
I enjoyed it.
The ones that watched it took it for what it was and enjoyed it in that context.
Yeah.
I think even not being a big, old black and white horror guy, I could see what he was going for, and I thought he nailed it.
Right.
It might not be to taste, like to everyone's taste, but what he was going for, really helped. I love this. Morgan C., you're hilarious. It's pronounced. You just type the name again. Hope that helps. Yes, sir.
It does. It does not.
But of course, yeah, Giacchino. Thank you, Mass.
Yeah.
I think that's just really funny. Right. Yeah. So the 2 C's in Italian are pronounced like a CH sound, said the fellow Italian in the chat. There are multiple, but it's the C, it's the double C's, then the CH, which throws me off. But anyway. So Michael Giacchino, or Giacchino, pardon me. He did a beautiful job on making that, and his love of film comes through. I'm leaving a part out. Like I remember, I did film a couple things. Like again, the opening scenes of things.
Of course,
my dad always had a camcorder, like from work and stuff that he'd bring, but we were never allowed to play with it. So that meant that we didn't get to. My brother and I and my cousins, like we didn't get to do that. And I didn't do like the AV club at school. I wasn't into that.
No.
But a couple times a friend had one, and I remember filming with pals. Like we realized that we looked at what special effects were there.
Yeah.
And we realized we could do some transporter. Like, so we're like, oh, let's just get 3 colored shirts, like yellow, blue, and red. Let's do a Star Trek thing. And I think we filmed like one scene or whatever, had a laugh. But when I was working as a young guy at the ROM, that's where we had it leveled up production value, because not only did we have the camcorder, but we now had facilities. Like we had sets, because we were in the museum and we were in there before and after hours. So we were filming in big like rotundas or in atriums or atria. We had like a forest. We had the Bat Cave. Like we did all.
The Bat Cave is pretty sweet.
So we were not only making movies with kids at the kids camp, but also for each other as like our own film festivals, goofing around. And that was tons of fun. And I spent way too many hours doing that as a, late teen and early 20-year-old. But yeah, good times. Moving on.
That's great.
Trying to get round this right back to where we are for Inferno. We're getting promised that we're going to get answers soon. And in this issue, I'm really excited to find out, like, are we finally going to find what's going on with who Madelyne is? Now that it's like these things are on a trajectory, right? She's either a genetic clone or she's a Phoenix thing. We're not sure which one, or something else, like option C. But Inferno is like this new storyline where a demon is involved, or demons, and possession of New York City buildings. So it feels like this is actually not about her origin in any way. This is like she's made a recent deal with a demon or something to become this new persona. But it feels like, so far what we're reading, and again, I'm pretending I haven't read ahead. I'm trying to put myself in the mindset of, January 1989.
Sure.
This doesn't feel like it's connected to her origin. Like, she's not a demon child who she's now discovering her origins through this.
It's not like dark, like in the
like magic, dark
right?
child.
It's magic, yeah.
Right.
Totally.
It feels like we have this genetic root, we have this phoenix root, and now a third thing is just coming in for reasons I don't yet know. And I'm really hoping that somehow, I'm hoping that it's all going to make sense and be completely clear. Yes. I'm
hoping it does.
Look at this. These guys going into it here.
Love it.
See, I need to like make this as a note somewhere so I always remember the CCH is a K.
Okay, so January 1989, you are.
I'm 13, coming up on 14.
13. How long is your hair?
You'll never know.
Never know. All right.
I'm still in grade 8, so I'm still young looking. I hit my growth spurt and sounded like I do now in about 6 months. It took me. I had a great caterpillar to butterfly transformation over the summer between grade 8 and grade 9.
So go back in the cocoon.
Where we live, it's a change of schools. You go from elementary school to high school.
Sure.
And I'm so grateful it worked out the way it did. I got to high school and it sounded like this. And I had grown 6 inches in 3 months.
You had the full beard already.
Full beard.
Full beard.
The only true story that goes with this is that I went to summer camp, and when I got back, 2 months later, and I'm at the bus station down in Dundas and Bay.
Yeah.
The old bus station.
Oh yeah. For sure.
My mom walked past me. She didn't recognize me.
Wow.
And I was like, "Hey, Mom," and she's like, freaked out. She had no idea who I was. Because I left for summer camp the shortest out of the 4 in my family and came back the tallest of the 4. So it was a shocking moment in my family. But there you go. Let's say hello to everyone in the chat. You guys are nice and active tonight. I think everyone is battling for those crowns. I now have participated in the chat, and so I understand what the crowns are. I know that in the past, a couple of you have asked what's going on there. The more one participates, the higher ranking they get, and they, for whatever reason, to encourage people to chat more and more, they rank you. On behalf of Chris and myself, you're all kings and queens in the chat. Whatever your crown ranking is, it is lovely, but we value you for who you are and your contribution emotionally. It doesn't have to be about quantity, okay? So,
but also, like Highlander, there can be only one.
They're right.
Unless you're talking about Highlander 2, 3, or 4, or 5, where there's more than one Highlander, and it's clearly that's not canon anymore.
Correct.
You can be more than, it's not only one. You can be there could be only 20 or something anyway.
So let's say hey to Morgan C, to Richard. How you doing, Richard? Mass and Michael and Ali. Happy Tuesday, all you awesome nerds. Jason Jose. I never went to the comic store to go talk to Fee. I need to go bring that book in to show you, that John Byrne book. I'll get there soon one day. And Anthony's here. And Gary Shipman, how you doing? Hope everyone is well out there in the world. Yuck Fu Productions, how are you? Welcome to the chat. Hope everyone is well and enjoying their X-Men. And as excited as I am to see what comes next in not just comics, but in the X-Men world. Chris, we're getting into some really good times.
Okay, I'm going to take your word for it.
Yeah, there's stuff
coming.
coming.
I don't read ahead, so.
Hey, got to thank you all, of course, for subscribing to the channel. If you haven't already, please hit like on the video, subscribe to the channel, help us get to 500. We're almost there. And our views are just way up in the last month. So we really do appreciate everyone's contribution to helping us reach the next plateau and enabling us to bring more content your way. And hope you're enjoying it. So we really do appreciate that. Thank you very much. Of course, you can support the channel by picking up our books. Group of Seven, A Most Secret Tale, written by Chris Sanigan, illustrated by me, and Peregrines, Fights, Fiends, and Fisticuffs, both available on our store or at our store on the web right now at group7comics.ca. You can pick up both those books. Lovely. Quick plug. Oh, did you know we're going to be at Fan Expo Canada?
I did.
Okay, well, this is a massive, massive show. We will be, of course, at table Y27 for Daryl Sittler, right?
Or you say Y27. Y27, come and find out.
I like that. That was good.
Right, thanks.
So the Metro Toronto Convention Center, the largest show in Canada, tens of thousands of people are going to be coming through. It's going to be full of cooties.
So many stormtroopers.
So many stormtroopers and amazing cosplay. But of course, we'll be there. We're going to be in a nice little section with a lot of other indie comics creators.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to hanging out with Ricky Lima and John Berg and Scott B. Woods, Jeff McClinchy. It's going to be good times. And I looked to see if anyone else was around. I think it might just be that pocket.
Okay.
Nobody else at Fan Expo matters. Just us.
Indie Comics Island.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun little spot, and it's going to be weird. We're now positioned in front of the abyss, so I don't know what will be in front of us. Whether it will be lines of people waiting for signatures from celebrities around a corner, or if it will be a dead space. It won't be the Pizza. I think that's been moved.
Yeah, right. We were looking at the map the other day, and not quite sure, but we just know there seems to be a bit of a void.
Yes,
facing a void. May not be a void, but it's an open space.
We'll all have each other, which should be fun.
Very true.
And if you haven't checked out our second show, go check out Leveling Up. It drops Saturday mornings, 8 a.m. The latest episode explores the coolest Mr. Fantastic from Jack Kirby in about 1968. There's a really nice artisan edition that I leaf through and talk about some key things there. So that's fun. Too soon for that. Let's move off of this. Yeah, we're good. Anything else you want to talk about before we start?
No, I think because it's not X related. I did see Fantastic Four.
Oh,
Steps.
Yeah,
I did see that, but it's not really X related. So. I mean, unless there's something I totally missed, and you're like, "Did you catch that reference?" And I'm like,
well, the next time that they are in a movie, it will be with the X-Men.
That's right. Avengers Doomsday, right?
Avengers Doomsday is coming out next year.
Yeah, next holiday season.
Crazy to think that Spider-Man, which just started shooting, and Avengers Doomsday will be out next year. Like, it's a long way to wait for another Marvel movie compared to years past.
Oh, right.
Or the sweet years.
Yeah.
But it's still worth it to get the fourth Spidey and the next Avengers. That'll be super cool. Yeah. So tell me, I'd love to hear what you thought.
I really enjoyed it. Good.
Moving on.
That's it's the 5-word review. No, I just thought everything about it was done. Like, I love the intentionality about it. I love the whole vibe about it from a design, and the fact that family is at the heart of it. I love that whole part. Not to ruin or to spoil anything for anyone, but I thought, so connecting this to the comics that we make. So one thing that we've chatted about and we talked about is, like, how do you give each person, if you have larger groups, like, ample time? Because we have 2 team books. And how do you give people ample time on screen on page with dialogue and agency and all these things? Yeah. And, I thought one thing they did really well in Fantastic Four is everyone had their moments. Everyone had their superhero moments, plus their character moments, plus their, and I thought it was just really well balanced. And so I
Yeah.
think that was like a nice takeaway. I mean, it looked great. I think the setup, like the setting being that kind of, Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, New York, like the real homage to all that era and everything that kind of, including like having the kind of futuristic things happening at the same time. But I loved all of that, like street scenes, loved all of it. People. Anyway, I just thought that again, it was a really well balanced film, like for a Marvel, sci-fi, space, cosmic action movie,
Yeah.
And I'll say this too. I went with family. I was hanging with family, and we saw it in a drive-in in rural Ontario, which is pretty cool. I've been a drive-in forever, and I was the only one of like the 9 of us who were going that was like, obviously, I really wanted to see it, and everyone like had known about it. But we're kind of, what do you think? And I'm like, oh no, I've heard the reviews pretty good, and this and that, whatever. And everyone came in going, oh, it was a lot of fun. And I think that says a lot right there as well. Like just folks who are not into really any of this in any length were just like, oh, it was a fun like sci-fi superhero kind of family movie, basically.
Yeah.
Anyway, there you go.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
We'll do the deep dive later, but that was the.
Will we?
That's the initial. We'll see.
I agree with what you said.
Yeah.
I do think that the Thing didn't really have plot to do.
Okay.
And that's okay. Not every story has to have everybody.
Yeah.
He had his moments in the movie, no doubt, but like he didn't. Like each person had a key thing to sort of solve the big problem,
right,
and to move it along, and he was not as instrumental in that.
Right,
and that's totally fine. I don't really have like a lot of notes as to things I'd like to see different, except for just superficial things.
Sure.
I know that I like when characters. I love the idea that they're pushing the frontiers of adventure and pushing the frontiers of science and exploration. That spirit was there. Like Star Trek at its best. Like they get on their ship and they kind of go and they can go do stuff and they have their little jobs. I don't know what Sue's job is on the ship.
Right.
I would have liked maybe one kind of indicator as to a spot for them all to be in, or they have a specific role to play. And it feels like, I know this is just totally superficial and just me. Maybe rename that robot Kirby instead of Herbie. It feels like it's like right there.
Right there.
Just name him Kirby and it's all good. And I thought he was great. I really enjoyed to take something that was like an idea that doesn't work.
Right.
Like a comic book, a cartoon thing where he was put in because they couldn't use the Human Torch. His rights were tied up somewhere else. And they came up with the stupidest ideas. Like, let's just stick a robot named Herbie there.
Yeah.
And it almost ruins the original Fantastic Four cartoon back in that time period.
Yeah.
Incorporating it in a way that totally works is with the magnetic tape. I mean, come on. So I really enjoyed that stuff.
Yeah. And they had, and they all had really great chemistry. I know, one of them is basically purely CGI with the voice, but still they all had really great chemistry.
He did mocap. Like he was he was there doing the suit. Yeah.
But like just and like they really came off that Marvel's they're like a family. Like, and it was really sweet. Like it was, and so I think the thing that, and again, is earlier in the month we got Superman, and we both chatted about we really enjoyed Superman as well. And I think both movies, in some regard, are both deliberately like planned intentionally, but also I think how they've just kind of manifested throughout the summer. Like they're just restarts of these universes from a position of like kind of hope and position of heart. And I know we can go darker and stuff. And I like those movies too. Don't get me wrong. And I've enjoyed, and I've enjoyed most of the stuff they put out. Both companies, truthfully, they've had their moments. But I feel like both these movies, summer, it's like 2025 summer reset, and now it's like let's move on from these two spots. Right. And now I'm like, wow, I really want to see what happens next. In both, like as soon as that Superman ended, I'm like, oh, I want more, and I want another DC movie.
Isn't it
and as
funny?
soon as Fantastic Four ended, I was like, I cannot wait for Brand New Day and Doomsday.
Totally.
Yeah. Anyway.
Isn't it interesting? Like both of their canonic universes start with Action Comics #1, the first Superman,
right,
and Fantastic Four #1.
Yeah,
with the Marvel, like that's the beginning of both those continuities, and both those films come out this year. Like that's fun. I really like that the Fantastic Four are like the beacons of progress in their world. Right. And they don't have another agenda. Like they're not. Everyone just like, oh, you guys actually are here to help us, and you're of us, and you're helping us move forward as a society. Like the MCU needs them. Like the Earth, as they call it, Earth 616, whatever they're going to call it. Like that, they don't have Cap, they don't have Tony. Like there's a vacuum of optimistic, progressive. Contributors to society. It's like they're going to be like, there's a problem. Mr. Fantastic says like, okay, we're going to fix this. And if he comes in, like I know in the film he's shaken, but the Pedro Pascal that is confident and feels and believes in what they're going to do, like he's going to just radiate, and that group is going to just be such a nice. Like Spidey's going to be so happy to meet them. I can't wait. Like I'm really curious how it's all gonna fit in together, but I think it'll be a really much needed cohesion point. Yeah, and then the X-Men get to be the darker thing.
Sure,
like we're the group that's hunted and hated, and we still got to do the right thing. But everyone's looking to the Fantastic Four to be these leaders. Like I'm good with it.
I'm good.
Yeah. Oh, if he says, let's go Johnny and Spidey. Yeah, I wonder if they'll ever... I mean, I feel like the audience wants that, and probably so does the studio. Like, good old... they had a comic that they used to... Back in the day, Johnny had his own spin-off book.
Okay.
Was it Strange Tales? Before Cap came back, I think Strange Tales might have been his. Anyway, fun stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, thought about our show.
Sure.